time has come.
The time has come.
The time
live?
has come.
We are live. Yeah.
We are live.
We are live.
The second round.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
Woo!
Vitamin rich.
Optimizing human performance.
For sure.
After our debut show last week, we're back, and of course with the main, the ones.
Yes.
Only.
Yes.
Dr. Justin Newman on the right, Mr. Richard Rocha.
Vitamin rich, baby. Let's go.
Vitamin rich.
Woo! Mm-hmm.
So it was a great start last week. We couldn't get enough of your energy, of your enthusiasm, and all this knowledge that you guys have put together for the benefit of human health, for the research you guys are doing on all these nutrition combined with the experience of acupuncture, vitamin infusion, but everything in between. All what you guys are doing to make it better in the well-being of human beings. So today we have a great topic, and we always hear that, that gut feeling, and
Right. Well said.
the gut has more to do with health and overall, well-being than what we think. We have thought over time. So I want you guys, to expand on it, and it's your time. It's your time, baby. Welcome.
Well, you guys have probably heard the saying. It's an ancient Roman expression: a sound mind and a sound body. This is one of their philosophies, right? This is thousands of years old, a couple thousand years old, and it's no less true today. The healthier we are physically, the more clear-headed we're going to be, and the more emotionally stable we're going to be as well. So today we're going to be talking about the connection between your gut and your heart and your brain. This brain-heart-gut connection that we have facilitates health and wellness and well-being on so many levels that as Kike pointed out, we're discovering now. They refer to the gut as the second brain. You were just saying before the show, not only does our gut have neurons like our brain, but our heart has neurons too, just like the brain. So they work in similar ways that are only now being understood by science and by lay people everywhere. And how do we take advantage of that?
Absolutely. Well, that's very interesting, Doc. It's actually 40,000 neurons.
40,000 neurons.
And that is fascinating because a broken heart can impact your mind.
Wow. Well said.
And a broken heart doesn't necessarily have to be by someone else. A broken heart can be by the lack of self-love and self-care that we have towards ourselves.
And we sometimes don't even allow ourselves to, or permit ourselves to feel joy.
No, that's sad.
A lot of us hold ourselves back, which is a whole topic in and of itself. Who's living their life to the fullest potential?
It's sad, man. We have seen quite a few of those, especially now with everything that's been going on in the world, and it's sad. That's why, and this isn't a sales pitch, but this is why we really focus on experiencing and enhancing the mind, body, being, for sure, with lights, sounds, scents, a lot of appreciation of you, appreciation. I mean, we're so overlooked and unappreciated, and it's very sad because we're all in this crazy struggle of life, and we're figuring it out.
It's true.
We're like all fighting, and we're strength in numbers. Anyhow.
So we know that the cells of neurons in the stomach are very similar, if not the same as in the brain, something like that. So they are so connected. They got interconnected. And you guys were telling me, I didn't know this. Like the quality of your food determines also the quality of your thoughts, of your emotions.
Of course.
So maybe you want to elaborate on how that works.
Absolutely.
And how your treatments
are
useful.
Makes sense, and that's a great question. And it's because a lot of those hormones are actually produced in the gut, and so therefore, if you're not absorbing proper nutrients, you can't develop these hormones that are essential for your body to not only feel right, but to act right, to think right. And to be able to have that ability to do so, that's the interesting part about it. But it is definitely interconnected, and it's the signal from the gut that's being sent to the brain, and the brain is what sends the signal throughout the body to respond. So that's the connection, but it is definitely mind, body, being. Literally mind, your mind, the way you think and what you think about. It's interesting, we talk about this, but there's a doctor who studied water, which is the Dr. Emoto?
Yeah, Emoto.
Masuri Emoto.
Yes, amazing. And if you look at the way he studied water and the way and the impact that energy has on water is huge. Well, we're made mostly of water. So your thoughts programs that water within you. And that may sound far-fetched, but we know it's not, because he's done the research and the study to prove it. So, and I think it's like 70% of our body is made of water, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty fascinating to know that our thoughts can program our body. Our nutrition it's so key, important to the way our body responds to this. And then the heart, opening the heart and the ability to love.
Wow. And self-love.
That and self-love. Amen. Yes, sir. Amen.
Yes,
so
sir.
we got this week. We have some pics on you guys in action, like what you guys do on different events that you attend, like right here.
Yep, there we are.
INVITAS. This was a CrossFit event, something like that.
Yeah, it was a wellness event at a big gym. And they were promoting a wellness and well-being event. We were the featured guests. Many of their members are competitive athletes training for triathlons, marathons, and CrossFit events. And we're partnering with them to be a medical support and performance support aspect of their program.
Maybe it's a good time that we revisit it or tell people what you guys are specializing in your office. Like we have, of course, it's IV infusion, but it's also acupuncture. You want to describe a little bit your services before we go on with the relationship with God and brain.
Absolutely.
This beautiful stuff.
In this picture here, there's a lot going on here. First of all, that's a beautiful couple that they come in together, and you know the saying, a couple that stays together. What is it? Heals together, stays together, something.
Whatever
like that.
They do together, they stay together.
Exactly. And it's nice to see these two come in and they have a beautiful child, and they're all about health and just of mind, body, being. They're beautiful people, and this is them getting some treatments here of acupuncture. The other picture, we were taking a natural shot of beet juice, and it was cold pressed, fresh, organic, and that's what we were doing there. We were celebrating life. And if you go to the next picture,
cold press that you do.
Yes, that was there, and that we had a juice there, that machine there that day. So that you see is the setup. This is, and this is all catered to the moment, the experience, the energy, the person who's there, our energy, all of this. But that's all natural juices there. Everything in our place is natural. Even the flowers are real. The lights are full spectrum lights for nutrients. There's all elements there in our space.
And unlike any other healthcare center, it's not clinical. We're doing medical work. We're doing collaborative healthcare practice, but it's, as you've seen from the pictures, the experience that people are having. They're immersed in some atmosphere that's natural and supportive and regenerative. And when they're open-hearted in that environment, because they're so available, they heal much more quickly. They really do. Not only in our center, but then when they step back out into their lives, they carry that with them.
Right.
They carry that into their other relationships once they leave our center. So the healing is multi-level.
And it's awesome because of the experience that they have with themselves, to allow themselves the ability to be appreciated, to be taken care of, to be, allow themselves to be in their own great presence is a beautiful thing. We meet the most beautiful people with the most amazing stories, and it's oftentimes our clients who are actually treating us. This is where I learn a lot of things of who I am and how I am, but things to be grateful for.
I see this other gentleman.
Yep.
So what you have right there is the vitamin infusion.
Yep, that is a vitamin IV infusion. It's a known as the Myers cocktail. Those are all nutrients that the body naturally needs and produces and uses, minerals, antioxidants. That Myers cocktail, the story behind that is in the 60s, there was a doctor by the name of Dr. Myers, and he was treating all these different patients with different conditions with vitamin infusions. And he was having amazing and extraordinary results. And unfortunately, he passed away, and he never really left a blueprint of what he was doing. So they reversed engineered his treatments with all of his patients, and they came up with the Myers cocktail. So that's why it's called the Myers cocktail. It's not like the hangover clinic and the other things like that, with no disrespect to them, or other IV clinics that are just kind of just dumping or pushing fluids or vitamins. That's not what we do. That's exactly not what we do. We're medical grade. These are higher concentrations. Anyone is going to feel better with 1,000 cc's of fluids. Our infusions are done in 100 cc bags, so it's a higher concentration. And then the amount of nutrients that we have in that bag is second to none. That's the H2O2.
There's a graphic here explains the benefits of vitamin C. You want to explain to us?
Yeah, vitamin C, it's an immune booster, it's an antioxidant, it's extremely powerful. Many of the body's functions depend on vitamin C, but we were featuring vitamin C in our infusions for two main reasons. One, due to the pandemic, many people were seeking some way to boost and safeguard their systems against not just COVID, but all viruses. We're surrounded by viruses constantly, every day. And they were getting the Myers cocktails, sometimes with added vitamin C to enhance their immune function. Vitamin C and zinc are together extremely powerful for fighting viruses. The other reason we use vitamin C is for in mega doses to fight cancer. High doses of vitamin C, they turn certain genes on in the body that signal the body to seek out and destroy cancer tumors. And one of our patients was coming in twice a week for high dose vitamin C cancer, recovering now from stage 4 lymphoma, and she's using mega doses of vitamin C. Vitamin C is also used to improve the collagen quality in your body. So in terms of anti-aging and cosmetic or longevity treatment, vitamin C is useful in that regard too. It's hard to say too much. It's water soluble, so you can't really take too much of it. But when it's infused, you can have higher doses than your intestines would tolerate, let's say. And it has some powerful effects in the body, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely,
Richard?
most definitely. What's interesting is if you look at the other picture that you were that you showed, which was it was like a clear bag outside in the blue.
Yes, I see you guys take it. You take your medicine out to the outdoors.
Yeah, physicians treat, nature heals, and oftentimes we do concierge medicine. So we have to go to places. We go to people's hotel rooms. We've gone to parties. We've been.
These vitamins are getting a tan.
That was underneath. A tan. That's awesome. That's actually under an umbrella, as you can see there. But yes, we do a lot of our treatments outdoors if possible, because that too is very soothing. It's different. It's not like your other places that you feel like you're in a doctor's office and you're sick and something's wrong with you. No, here we are celebrating your wellness. We are creating this mind, body, being experience to give you the proper nutrients, not only for your gut and your body, but also for your mind, your heart, the thoughts, the feelings. All of those are important. So back to the nutrients, what's interesting is high dose vitamin C, and vitamin C actually becomes hydrogen peroxide within the cell. That's very important to understand that. Why? Because we also do hydrogen peroxide IVs. So we can bypass that process and are able to give you a high dose hydrogen peroxide intravenous treatment, which helps on so many different levels. And there's so many benefits to it. One of the amazing benefits is that it doesn't allow the pathogens to build in the blood. And what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it seems to me that when you have a condition, when you're ill, you can, depends on the moment where you are, like you can take some time to explore things, but it seems to me that when you are like on a terminal situation, you want to go to straight to what's going to be effective. And it seems to me that this, like with you guys, is like going straight to the point.
Yeah, cellular.
Right?
We work on a cellular level and on a cosmic
Yes.
level.
You buy both.
That was good.
Both.
bypass so many. It's like hacking the objective here. And
Well,
that's what I
experience
see.
has taught us. Experience, great teachers, mentors have taught us these things. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, and nor do I play one on TV. But I can tell you that I've worked with the most amazing doctors, and I've worked with scientists that have taught me so much that I am so grateful for what they've taught me. I'm just paying it forward. My intention is to pay it forward for the greater good, for people to be able to heal naturally. Despite whatever they feel, to always have a place of belonging, to know that they're never really alone. And these are my own things that I try to overcome in my own personal life, so I project that into my life, and so that's what I see.
And we surround ourselves with a fantastic team of professionals. As you were saying, we go straight to the source.
Yep.
And the source is, as Richard's pointed out, is the mind, body, the human being completely. You have to address your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, your body, your environment, your relationships, the situations you've lined yourself up to. There's so many different factors. It's not only about treating symptoms, and it's not only about relieving symptoms in the body, although that's often a major component, but it's about treating, again, as we talked about, this relationship between your brain and your feelings and your body. Getting those in line, and sometimes it's absorption and detox. These are key. Sometimes it's circulation. Sometimes it's meditation too. It's time management and prioritizing and all of the above.
And then what's amazing is then when you integrate them together, when you do several of those together, you're by far going to have an extraordinary result. Not only with whatever experience you're experiencing, but also with yourself and that connection. I think oftentimes people are disconnected from that.
You might, guys, if we visit some of these graphics, you sent us some of common, illnesses or conditions. We have depression, then we have anxiety. Some of these we're going to be focusing on, in the upcoming shows. I know you sent me a lot of material that we're going to be talking about. But for instance, fibromyalgia, right? This is something that's so common. You want to talk a little bit about? And it's got to do with the gut. Has to do
Well,
with
it has to do with all of it, believe it or not. Because, believe it or not, there are some doctors who think that that's a made-up, it's all in the mind, that it's not real, because they can't really pinpoint where it's coming from. They just know the symptoms are there, but they can't, it's not an actual diagnosis, so they just put fibromyalgia. There are those who think that. There are obviously those who think, no, this is a real condition. I don't get involved in the middle. I just know that there's a deficiency in nutrients, and whatever the case may be, I know that this could help. And why is that? Because whether it is a gut-brain issue or heart even, because oftentimes, what if the gut is good and the mind is good, but your heart is broken? Or your heart is not, emotions. It's going to impact your mind and your gut, your sleep and your production. And so therefore, fibromyalgia, whether it is mind, body, being, however it may be, it is a real condition that we treat a lot of clients, guests, I like to call them guests. They're guests of ours who show up, and we use these treatments, and they feel better.
They say that the pain is unsurmountable.
Of course.
Can be.
Right?
Well, the reason I got involved with medicine is, in the first place, is my mother was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and so early on, autoimmune issues like that became a specialty of mine. Now we've opened up our practice quite a bit. But the important things, as Richard and I have been working on, is to reduce inflammation and detox the body. And this is an inflammatory condition, so there are nutrients. There's a detox process as well that's involved. As we talked about, the gut producing hormones, how the liver is involved too. clearing the body of any viruses. They often relate Epstein-Barr virus and side effects of having had that virus at one time as producing fibromyalgia. There's so many mysteries as to where this is coming from.
Yeah, really.
You know, but detoxing helps resolve a lot of that. Treating the body with absorption and acupuncture for circulation to clear inflammation from the body has helped fibromyalgia patients and others. And so as you were saying, we don't have to understand exactly the origins of where these come from, but by having a functional and collaborative approach, we address many of the different components that these guests of ours and others are struggling and suffering.
Right.
With.
It's interesting. You said something that I just kind of wanted to touch base on real quick, because you said about the pain being,
insurmountable.
Right.
Yeah. It's a word I learned when I was in elementary back in Colombia in my bilingual school.
Okay. And the point
Did I say it right?
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. No. What's interesting, what I find interesting about that is oftentimes pain is in the mind. The amount of pain and how you perceive pain, and I mean, there's people who use pain to push past pain for performance. They do these ultra, marathons. Let's say they feel pain, but they push right through it. Not that that's what I'm recommending you to do. I'm just saying pain can be a nutrient too, and so how you choose to deal with that pain determines the outcome. And that's what I find interesting, because again, this pain, that if it's so immense that it's debilitating, perhaps maybe that pain, if shifted, can actually be a force. You see, I just recently saw some guy that's on crutches breakdancing without his crutches. Blew my mind. That to have that ability. I'm sure he feels pain at times, but he functions with it. So it's just interesting, but having the right nutrients, I think, can also alleviate the inflammation, and connecting with yourself ultimately can make those uncomfortable experiences more tolerable, because you're grounded and connected.
One of the things we talk about that goes along with being grounded, so critical, is making enough space, making enough room inside your mind and your body to fit all of that pain, which is information, it's pressure, it's experience, it's data. You have to have enough space and be grounded too to fit and process whatever that is. And as we've been talking about the gut, heart, and brain connection, we know thoughts are things, and thoughts, what we're thinking about, affects our body, and our mind and body are related. But think about this. The subconscious, 99% of your mental function is subconscious. It's happening on a level that you're not even aware of. What are the things that you're thinking about that you don't even know you're thinking about? What are you really perceiving that you don't even know that you're perceiving? But yet, those perceptions are still having an effect on your emotional well-being and on your body and on your relationships. So these kinds of connections are extremely important, because we want to first clear up and make space for assessing, what do we really think? What are we really perceiving on a day-to-day basis that we don't know has the impact that it does? Do we have enough space in our mind, but also our emotional framework to accommodate what that is, and how can we make more space? There are ways to do that. And how do we make enough room in our body with detox, whether it's hydrogen peroxide infusions, and there are some other methods, to fit all those nutrients that are coming your way, whether they're vitamin-based or they're energetic. This is critical.
Yeah. No, that's deep. You got me really thinking about the importance, really, of what it is that we do and why we try to get our point across so much. Because our experiences, at least my own experiences, have taught me that the way that I approach things and process things is so essential to the way that I'm able to proceed and forward.
And we're lucky that we're not only in the experience, but we're a specialist.
Yeah.
We're specialists, and people come to us because
special too, man.
You're special. We're special. People come to us because we're special. No, and we have the experience as specialists to guide people through this process.
I love these guys. Nothing better than working with somebody you admire.
Well, and we appreciate that, and I know people enjoy working with us.
Yeah,
they do.
sure.
They enjoy it, and our dynamic is fun, and their experiences are positive on many levels.
Yeah.
But the types of information that we bring, people don't know. Just with the gut alone, 80% of your immune system functions from your gut. As you were saying, those neurotransmitters for happiness, serotonin, dopamine, they're produced in your gut. They're not produced in your brain. You know, the hotline between your brain and your gut, the vagus nerve, is something that we can work with also. You know, people just take it for granted.
Wow.
The body's going to do what the body does, but there are much more subtle levels here at work and ways to enhance and hack, biohack, the functioning of your system so that you get the optimal level of performance possible. And along the way, working with us, maybe understand things that you could do on your own that can help you to sustain that level of performance and function in your day-to-day life. You know, it's not obvious, some of these things, like you mentioned water and the effect that your thoughts and energy and intentions have on water. Many people don't know that.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
You know?
Yeah, that was mind-blowing when I found that
Wow.
out. I'd like to touch base about biohacking real quick, because you mentioned biohacking. And this is important that we explain what biohacking is. Because for some, they may not really understand what we're doing here. And again, these are all natural products, but what we're basically...
You're not like those hackers that have bad reputation.
No, not at all. No, what I'm here to do is, or we really are here to do, is to run diagnostics to find your exact deficiencies. Once we run those diagnostics, and these are live blood analysis that we do, to find out your specific deficiencies, we can formulate cocktails, IV cocktails with those nutrients. And whatever can't be IV infused, the recommendations are that it'll give you how much food you should be eating, of what kind of food, and how often you should be eating it, of those deficiencies that you have. So not only are you getting them intravenously, but you're also getting them when you go out. You can make different, or you eat at home, you can make different, I guess, decisions based off the deficiencies that you have in order to supplement your deficiencies when you're out and about and eating. So you're constantly in a healing process. You don't always get the IV. That varies from time to time, and that's a different topic and discussion. But the point is that at least when you're out and about, you can still be recovering, reproducing these amazing nutrients that we need in our body to then be able to then perform and detox and all that great stuff.
And heal at the level that's unique to you. Because as you were saying, these diagnostics are specific, they're personalized. And you know, no two people's deficiencies are going to be exactly the same, even though they may have similar symptoms. Maybe one person needs more magnesium, and another person might have enough magnesium, but they need more potassium or vitamin A or E or so on and so forth.
Right.
And this will tell you, and it's amazing the way they do this, to where your exact deficiencies lie, and as Richard said, constructing a program around you.
Yeah,
It's individualized.
That's pretty cool. It's a very important diagnostic, as far as nutrients, glutathione. I want to simply just touch also base on glutathione.
Which is being mentioned so much these days. Especially...
Have you heard it outside of us?
In the
too? Because I
treatment
know
of...
we talk, but have you heard elsewhere? It's good if you
Yes.
have. I hope you have. You
Yes.
have? Excellent.
Some people say, I mean, I don't want to get into controversial, but some of these glutathione, which is essential, it's been taken away with the vaccine. It's lost.
What
Wow,
do you,
fascinating.
what do you mean it's lost?
Yes,
Did it get
it's lost with the actual, well, you know, whatever they're putting into people.
We can call it the serum.
There's a decrease in glutathione. Yeah.
Like, the availability
needs to be replaced.
is decreasing. Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
It's a
that's
powerful
interesting.
detoxing for the body that's being compromised, maybe.
Well, let's just cut to the chase here. Our guts produce glutathione.
Uh-huh.
Studies show that when those levels drop, we age. That's why it's known as the anti-aging serum. What I find fascinating about it is it's the strongest antioxidants that is known and available that our bodies produce. So it is incredibly important. What's interesting is then the absorption, because when we then push it through the IV, you're absorbing 100% of it. So even more so is it more potent. But glutathione is key to detoxing and to eliminating waste on a cellular level, and it's highly, highly, highly effective. At some point in time, we can talk about chelation and the benefits of those and extracting the heavy metals from the body. But as far as talking about glutathione is actually fascinating. The reason why I'm so particular to glutathione, not only just because of what I just shared and expressed with you, but what I find interesting is that I had met this couple, and they had been married for I think like 60-something years, and the husband had Parkinson's disease, and he came in because he had some burn marks on his wrist because his wife would have to tie his arm behind the chair in order so that he could eat with his other hand. And that broke my heart. It's just very hard to see this. And I remember that when I was working with the doctor at that time, I explained to him, like, hey, out of all these nutrients that we see are so beneficial, isn't there something that can be used or done for these types of patients?
Wow.
And he said, of course, yes, absolutely. He's so smart, such an amazing guy. And he said, yeah, glutathione. Glutathione sometimes even can help for immediate tremors. Like if it's very mild, just beginning part, it could actually start to reduce those tremors. And I was mind blown by this because I didn't understand why don't people know this? Why isn't this out there? Why are there so many people going through, God knows what they're going through, taking whatever it is they're taking through, and they could actually be taking glutathione that could help them as a supplement. Because since it's an antioxidant, apparently, it also helps with the brain, and it detoxes the brain and all this other stuff. Whatever, man, I just know that there's hope out there. And that became my drive, my mission, my purpose to say, hey, listen, you can do these treatments, they do exist, and we can make it affordable for you. That's a lot of what we do.
So all that we've been talking about is available through your treatments.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about your space, your physical space in South Miami. We see that you really put a lot of effort and energy in producing and creating an ambience, right?
Yes. So these are actually all patients that we were waiting for to show up. What I do is usually when I do the intake, I'm constantly trying to find out about what my clients like, what colors they like, what sounds they like, what scents they like, which way to move, fast or slow, do I stay in the room, do I not? Those are all things that go into our treatment. And the reason being is because if I bring a client into a blue room and their favorite color is red and they don't like the color blue, what is that saying to their mind and their subconscious mind? They're in a place where they either don't like or they don't feel they belong or whatever the case may be. But however, if I can go now and set this room, your space, I just facilitate that space to your favorite color, your favorite music, your favorite scents, and you're able to just kind of fall into this place, in this space of belonging that is yours. There must be something to that must make the client feel a sense of belonging and disconnection from the outside world. So those other rooms were rooms that I had set for clients who like that room in that way. And that's me. I keep our supplements there. I keep a low inventory because I like my products to be freshly compressed and sent to us. I don't like to keep a large inventory because you never know how long it's been sitting there. Mine is as soon as it's compressed, we infuse. We don't play. Highest concentration, third-party tested by award-winning pharmacies, 100% natural. That is very, very important to me. I will never jeopardize the quality of our supplements. I will never do that.
Remind us where are you guys located, Dr.
So
Newman?
we're located in the South Miami Pinecrest Dadeland area in South Florida. If you're familiar with the Dadeland area, you'll find us right off of South Dixie Highway, just north of Kendall Drive. Our address is on our website, and you can find us through there, invitasforlife. And also message us through our Instagram page. If you have messages you can share, you can call, text the office. You could message through our Insta page, email us through our website. We'd love to set up some time to run through a functional wellness assessment just to gauge what some of your goals and or concerns are, and share with you what the possibilities can be in terms of using a collaborative approach that INVITAS offers.
And we have an amazing event later today, right? Tell us a little bit, talking about creating that environment and connecting with people. You're having an Instagram live.
Yes. Yes, yes. So this is very exciting, and
Join us
yes, join us
tonight.
Join us. Yes, join
5 to
us
7
tonight.
live.
I had to take a moment there of just gratitude, because this experience that we're about to have came in a dream, in a form of higher consciousness, of meditation and connection. And I just had to give thanks for being here in this space of and in your greatness, all of you guys. So I appreciate you guys very much. Yeah, this is going to be a very cool holistic happy hour. This is not going to be like any other that you've seen. We're very excited for this. Stay tuned, check us out. It's going to be a regenerative wellness party, just to kind of let you know what it's like. So it's going to be very cool. We'll be live, so you can send in your questions, you can check us out, get to know us, see what we do, see what we're talking about, feel the vibe. And you know, if you don't come to us, don't worry about it. We're going to come to you, believe me.
And this is definitely one of Richard's, one of his many brain children, this idea of holistic happy hour. It's a happy hour, but it's a holistic happy hour, so it's wellness and well-being themes. It's about celebrating life and health, and it's fun.
Yep.
We host these holistic happy hours for corporate events. Friends and family can come and organize an immersive experience that's structured in the same way. But tonight, it's going to be hosted live and streamed. So check us out on our Insta page.
Yep.
Right there, Invitas for Life.
There it is.
Right there. What time?
5 to 7 p.m. today, Friday.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Check out those neon lights.
Yeah, right?
Music.
Yeah, I felt enlightened.
Indeed, indeed.
Beautiful.
And it'll be fun. You'll see us in our element. There'll be treatments administered. There'll be music and lights set as such. It'll be different in a way. We don't want to ruin the surprise.
Yep, absolutely.
Check us out.
Sure.
And of course, you'll be a part of us, whether you're connecting with us virtually or hopefully soon, orienting yourselves to a party of your own.
For sure. How exciting.
So, one of the many things we learned today, everything is connected. Mind, body, spirit, brain, heart, God. They all play a role in the well-being of the human being. And through nutrition, balancing, all those services that you guys provide to anyone, not just the sick, because that's an important thing. You also emphasize. You don't need to be sick to try to achieve.
No. Just because you're not sick doesn't mean you're healthy.
Right, exactly.
People often come in because they want to enhance their levels of wellness and well-being, prevent illness, and perform to their optimal capacity.
Yeah, it's what preventative medicine is really about. Why wait till you're sick? Might as well just try to be as healthy as... I'd like to mention, we talk about the mind, body, being, right? And how they're connected. And what I find fascinating is that our body is not our greatness. Our body is our limitation. Our being is our greatness. So when we expire, when we die, when we move on to the next dimension, whatever it is that you believe in, that being within you never dies. That's the voice that speaks to you when there's no sound that comes out of your mouth. When you can hear that voice, whose voice is that? Whose voice is that speaks to you when you're not even speaking? That's that same voice that exists when this limitation of our being expires. We transcend, because that voice never dies. So the being in the heart is essential. This is just something in this dimension that gets us to do what we do, and that's experience light, love, and energy, and be it also.
Yeah, and make enough room for more. Some people don't hear clearly that voice that you're talking about of their being,
Great point.
their soul, their higher self. It's always there, as you said, but if we're in too tight of a space, we don't hear that voice, or we don't hear it clearly. So just piggybacking what you said,
Yes.
part of the work is to make enough space so you can be grounded and with enough room to hear that voice clearly and know through your heart, where the next best steps for you might be found.
Absolutely. This is why we work so good together, really. We really do, because we're able to complement each other the way we flow. You're right. I didn't think, I was so into the thought of that voice, but you're right. Sometimes you don't even really know, you can't hear that voice.
Yeah, some people are wound up pretty tightly. They're stressed out or whatever it is, and they're not always aligned in the way that they could be to hear what that voice is saying, even though it is always there and it's always talking.
Right.
It's always available.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that these are the kind of words I would like to hear from a caretaker.
Oh, nice.
Somebody who's taking care of me, not just like diagnosed or you have this illness. You're like, they're always trying to tell you that you're wrong, like you have something that's failing, but you need somebody to tell you that everything's okay. That you just gotta connect to that inner voice, and that's why I appreciate what you guys do, and really invite people to get to know more about what you guys are doing. So there you have the number, 305-663-5696. For people who are just listening, they're driving and they can see the number again, 305-663-5696. And make an appointment, right?
Yep, absolutely. We look forward to serving you soon.
Certainly. Reach out, even if you're just curious and not ready to jump into a program. We can connect with you and run through a basic assessment. Those assessments are complimentary. And it gives you an idea again of what's possible. And then we go from there.
Beautiful. So, looking forward for tonight's event?
Yep, we're excited.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. Let's go, baby.
Woo!
Second time around.
Yep, absolutely.
Beautiful. Looking forward to the third.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Next Friday, we'll be there.
In the meantime, enjoy. I'll leave you with some pictures of these wonderful guys helping people, really giving their best in, bringing people to their best. I love watching these pictures. Thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you, Kike, for allowing us to get the word out there. Yeah, kids too.
And see you soon.
Anything. Take care. That was nice.
Super nice.
Bye.